So Battleground last night was blink and you miss it. Like not must see entertainment. Like obviously there were a few matches that were of worth. And it seems like between work and between everything that's been going on, I've tuned out of WWE as like now. It's weird.
Boo.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, I'm like exhausted after work, so it's like I nap when I get home sometimes, and tonight it's
You
like,
too. Let's be honest. You're too bothered by Daryl.
yeah, I'm not happy I can't watch the G1 because the G1 literally starts right as I have to get up for work, and it sucks because
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to watch it, and the one time I get a chance to watch anything, I forget about it, and I end up watching it late, and I miss the first couple matches. So that sucks. Um, I don't really have much interest in the product right now in general because things are just kind of like wishy-washy. There's a few things I like, everything else is just kind of just blah. I think my mistake is moving over to laying on the bed instead of staying in the chair. Because if I stay in the chair, I have a chance to make it. If I lay in the bed, I'm done.
The
So,
chair. Damn it, the chair.
yeah. Apparently, that's what someone said on the internet today. Bad luck Fale needs to get right now is the chair for what happened to Daryl.
Well, I'm pretty sure New Japan earns enough money.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I sense, I sense that sooner rather than later, Daryl too will be showing up in some shape or form to save us all.
Yeah, I think for Takahashi's state, I really think that it needs to because now he's taken to literally stroking an invisible Daryl.
Yes, that's the best bit though. You cannot destroy an invisible cat.
He's quite literally becoming a babyface version of Blofeld.
Nobody murdered little Jimmy, did they?
No,
Our
not that I'm
truth
aware of.
always has little Jimmy. Keep in mind, of course, Kushida still has Mr. Belt.
Ah,
Mr. Belt is very important to Takahashi.
that is a fair point.
And again, of course, if he wins the Pro Wrestling World Cup, who gives a shit?
So, on that note, let's do this proper. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Raw Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. This is Ashley.
It's honestly supposed to be about Raw, even though we just started by talking about anything but.
Yeah. Oh, my apologies. I said this during the Battleground podcast last night. I was under the impression the Bullet Club shirts were going back in stock in Hot Topic online and also in stores as of today. It's actually going to be Wednesday. But like I said before, if you're jonesing for some Bullet Club merch and you can't find it at your local stores, ProWrestlingTees.com has it constantly. And the original shirts that were available at Hot Topic and will be available again at Hot Topic in 2 days, the shirts of the regular Bullet Club, the Marty Skrull Villain Club shirt, as well as the Cody American Nightmare shirt, and the Young Bucks shirt, because obviously Kenny won't be because he's still not officially there yet. They're all available on ROHWrestling.com.
I see.
So getting started to talk about this because I can. We'll probably mention it again on Wednesday because I'll forget about it, but I might as well mention it here. Tickets went on sale today for GFW Impact tapings, coming back here to my literal home away from home, Universal Studios, Orlando, Florida, and it's going to be returning back to Stage 19. That's going to be on the 17th of August, and that's going to be for the pseudo live edition of Destination X, and it's going to be running until the 20th. So the taping is going to be from the 17th to the 20th. There's a VIP package that's available at shopimpact.com. So if you'd like to check that out, $99 gets you a laminate that's going to give you access to all 4 of the taping days. And we don't know exactly what the times for the shows are going to be. I don't even have the information yet. It just broke today. So, and you're going to get, of course, just like always, a meet and greet with a superstar knockout every single night of the tapings, and a souvenir poster, an 11x17 poster. So, no merchandise because we don't have a merchandise stand. But yeah, GFW Impact coming back here to Orlando the 17th and the 20th. A lot of comings and goings in GFW due to the new structure of the contracts. Actually, they had some issues with. Now apparently they're doing a good old Bob Ryder situation. They're taking 10% of what the workers make at an indie show, and they're not giving them any kickback for their merchandise. So Matt Morgan, Magnus, Madison Rain, Brandy Rhodes, they have all officially left GFW. There will probably be more to come. Congratulations to Davey Richards on his quest to become a doctor. He's left the company as well.
The exodus begins.
Yep. We'll see what happens. Obviously, you're going to be seeing a lot of AAA, a lot of talent from the Crash, with the new working relationship, also Pro Wrestling Noah, the new working relationship with Impact, and looks more and more likely that even though they're going to be coming for the GFW house shows in New York, Johnny Mundo most likely will be showing up on television soon. And that's not confirmed yet, but it also looks more and more likely that something we've been saying for years is finally going to come to fruition. Rey Mysterio Jr. coming to GFW in the very near future. It looks very apparent.
There is going to be no Lucha Underground Season 4 because they're all going to be on fucking GFW.
Yep. And that's better for me because then I can see that live.
GFW is going to basically become Lucha Underground, and all the GFW stuff is going to get forgotten about. Honestly, I think that's what they should do. Because, let's be honest, the product has been more hit and miss.
Right.
From Lucha than it has been more miss than hit with GFW or Impact. You know, over the last, I don't know, couple of years that they've basically, I mean, you could say went head to head with each other, even though obviously viewing figures aren't the same.
Right. It's looking more and more likely the Great Khali is going to be sticking around for a while. And
oh, no.
As much as I hate to say it, reports are basically saying Dave may mention the fact there could be a tag match in the future at SummerSlam.
Oh, no.
Jinder and Khali versus Randy Orton and a partner that hasn't been announced yet. Could even be John Cena at this point. You never know. Honestly, if it were me and if I was armchair booking right now, I would offer a buttload of money and I'd do a one night only return of Batista. It'd be a perfect way. You could have a tie-in. You could have literal actor versus actor with Batista versus Dalip Singh. And they both wouldn't really have to do much. They get a huge pop for it. I have a feeling there'd be a decent buy rate for it. And it might be the only way to save it. You have Batista, the Batista bomb on Jinder Mahal and lay him out. So, I mean, I could totally see them going that route. and then of course have Jinder drop the title at either Survivor Series or at the Royal Rumble. I don't think it's going to happen at a secondary pay-per-view, to be honest, but I mean it might. And by secondary pay-per-view, I mean like one of the co-branded branded pay-per-views. I hope not, at least, because those are getting really like horrible to set through. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Great Khali and Jinder Mahal tag action against Randy Orton and a partner at SummerSlam. So there may not be a WWE title match at SummerSlam this year.
Further proving that nobody gives a fuck about SmackDown.
Yeah, there's not many people that really liked the show last night. There are a few things about it. That's about it. But yeah, that's how we start off the show because, I mean, as always, I really don't have anything else to talk about because I did the whole good old-fashioned sit-out light stare tonight because it's kind of like I was zonked. I watched a little bit of Raw, and the rest of it was just kind of like, this bed feels nice. So, as always, it's going to be an Ashley show. I just had to give my 2 cents here for a little bit of stuff. So, Ashley, take it away.
So, well, the most important thing happens at the start. Let's see if I can find it. I haven't done this in a while, but I've realised that, I can. So we open up with, of course, Kurt Angle making his way to the ring. Some people may say, his music would be the "You Suck" thing. I think it's officially changed as of last week. Probably goes something like this.
This time around, I'm staying at home, and things are gonna get better. Settling in, loving my wife, but then I got that letter. My black son. Now each day my heart is getting bigger. Don't even remember sleeping with that lady, but I did. My black son, he's coming to stay. My black son, he's making each day the best that he can. Also, he's a ninja.
Weirdly, that is actually true for the storyline. That's the weird thing. We're actually taking Family Guy stories and making them real. Either way, Jason Jordan will be debuting in singles action later on tonight. But speaking of opportunities, Joe and Roman had a chance last week, and Braun slightly ruined it. So, he's made his decision. The most important decision of them all. Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam is going to be facing the one, the only. Oh shit, let's ruin that. Here comes Braun. And Braun just says, "You better say my name, son." Unlike those other 2 losers, I won at Great Balls of Fire, and I don't fear Brock, and I'm pretty sure that Brock fears me. I'll break him in half and become the new Universal Champion. And here comes Joe and says, "Look, I had Lesnar's number, and Brock got lucky. And I don't fear Brock. I've already said that, but I don't fear you either, Braun. All you did last week, Braun, was save Roman from another loss against me. I'm still unbeaten against him. I want Brock." Brother. Banner, what the fuck? Here comes Roman and just like, look, neither of you guys have done anything. I'm three-time world champ, multiple-time tag champ, Royal Rumble winner. Been at 5 WrestleManias, of which, oh look, I headlined 3 of them, and I retired The Undertaker. What have you done? Yeah, nothing. So they're about to sort of like face each other off and everything, and Kurt's just like, whoa! Look, I know who's facing Brock, and guess what? I changed my mind again. At SummerSlam, it'll be Brock versus Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. And Braun Strowman, because it's a fatal 4-way. Ba, 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 ba. Why are we having so many fucking multiple person matches on wrestling right now? Ba, 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 ba. Hell, even New Japan realizes one-on-one matches are more interesting. Shit, they're doing 181 of them over the next, well, the last week and the upcoming 3 weeks. Jesus. So Angle leaves and Joe's like, whoa, what's going on here? And Kurt's just like, we're done. We're done. It's like, Joe's like, no, we're not done. I should be the one doing it myself. And then Braun's just like, look, I don't care if it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1. I don't know, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, or even a 4-way. I'm just gonna pile up the bodies. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the. And then Roman just says, "Oh, shut up!" And then they get into a fight. Refs come out, useless. Security comes out. One of them nearly gets thrown on his head by Braun Strowman.
Look nasty.
Accidents at work. Oh, look. They've changed the sign from a 1 to a 0.
Indie workers
well, actually, no.
die for your sins.
Probably 7 to a 0 after last week's guitar shot. I'd say. Unless one of the Singh brothers did actually die from that table spot. I don't know. So Joe manages to get dragged away by, from what I could tell, was the half of the heel side of a locker room.
Yeah.
Practically. Nobody else. Just like the heels, and only some of them. Because like Sheamus and Cesaro are just like, yeah, fuck that. Like,
it's the heel locker room plus Heath Slater.
So I'm trying to find out what happened on main event. Because I just realized at this point, this show had nothing regarding Sheamus and Cesaro. Your tag champs are doing bugger all. And it's not like last week when like Neville wasn't there or anything. They were clearly there because they were in this angle. But no. And they weren't even on the bloody...
I got this. Main event this week.
I know. I've just seen it. But it further proves the fact that your tag champs weren't even on the show this week. What?
Hey, they got paid to come out and help with a pull apart at the beginning of the show.
Which they did nothing for.
Nope.
Jeez. So Joe gets dragged apart, and then Braun hits running power slam on Roman. Ooh. It's scary. So we're getting into the opening match. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias Sampson.
So good.
Who's starting to sing a song for Finn. But it gets interrupted not by the full Balor stuff, but faded in gradually. So it's like, okay, that's actually pretty well done. And Balor is pissed, which, is understandable, because why do you hit a guy for a spot so that the thing injures him so badly that they have to black and white the footage? Because that's always good. The thing is, these two had a pretty damn good match.
These two have good chemistry. They just don't need to work weapon shots with each other anymore.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, I like this. It was a good back and forth. They utilized the no DQ stipulation to the fullest of its capabilities. They set up the chair in the corner. Basically, they did the whole I sit at my own demise. And there's so many great ideas that I thought about. It's like, I know this would have been kind of dangerous, but so is hitting someone with the guitar the wrong way. One of the things would be like the chair set up, and then all of a sudden, when he turns around, Balor hits a shotgun drop kick, and it basically like jerks Elias back, and he takes the chair into the back of the head, which I guess would have been good payback for what happened last Monday night. It was not to be. They went a little bit safer in that. They just basically threw him headfirst into the chair. So I was like, yeah, either way. So they went back and forth. Finn wearing the tape around his shoulder. And it was just like a big bullseye. And, of course, he worked it. So we got back into the finish here. Shotgun drop kick. And he goes up top for the coup de grace. He hits it. Lights go out. And, of course, we're setting up this program that's going down with Bray Wyatt. So Bray shows up, hits Sister Abigail, and, of course, it's no DQ. Elias takes the win.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly fine match.
Yeah.
I think these two work really well together. Unlike a lot of my contemporaries online, I like Elias Sampson.
Sampson and Finn, or Wyatt and Finn? Or
to be
both?
honest, both of the above actually works really well, because
Yeah.
I think Balor and is going to have a tremendous match with Wyatt. I really do.
Demon versus demon, because that's the excuse to bring it back.
And that's the way that you bring back the actual paint for the match too.
And then it'll be Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Because Brock's gonna go back to the UFC.
I mean, if in a perfect and unjust world, what's going to end up happening is during the 4-way at SummerSlam, I want Brock to get choked out by Joe. Joe takes the title, and then everyone else moves on to their own programs. And we see Joe work with Roman, Joe work with Braun, and Joe can pretty much work with anybody at this point. And that match with Balor, of course, is hanging in the balance because Balor still has that title shot he hasn't been given yet. So
I wasn't a lot concerned by that walk.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you on that.
It looked a little groggy at times.
I mean, he's not still concussed from last week that I'm aware of, so.
No, not yet.
Yeah, perfect way to start out the show, though. It was a decent opening segment that got the crowd really into it, and they had a serviceable match that is starting to build storyline for down the line.
Sue, then we get the Sonic commercial with Bailey and the Hardys.
What the heck?
Jesus Christ. The last one I remember being that bad was that dodgy Tyson Kidd Natalia one.
Oh, the worst thing in the
years
world.
back.
The worst thing in the world right now is obviously Enzo and KFC.
Oh Christ, yeah, but that the thing is, keep in mind, I'm talking about like
Sonic in general.
the actual shot. No, but the live like advert, not like the shot thing. Like, you know, Enzo keeping fucking that chicken and all that. They've done it from time to time,
Mhm.
but it's never been as blatantly like cheesy as the Sonic one was tonight. It's just like, no. Speaking of cheesy, fucking Machine Gun Kelly's back doing the SummerSlam theme.
Oh dear God, why?
Because he's going to get fucking destroyed by Kevin Owens, and the world will rejoice.
Yes, indeed.
So Renee's backstage with Kurt because, you know, Jason Jordan's debut is next. Keep that in mind, everybody. And Kurt says, "Well, it's been a crazy week. You know, just got butterflies, but you know, Jason wanted to fight, and I'm giving him a chance to shine." Then Emma comes in and goes, "Well, speaking of chances to shine, you know, I'm sort of sick of being left on the side and not getting a chance to actually show myself for who I am. So, I don't know. Perhaps the best thing I could do is date your son." And I'm going, this is very good logic. Also, I'm being a bloody liar. So Kurt goes, "Okay, you want a good way to show yourself? You're facing Nia Jax."
I'm telling you right now.
This is what happens when you get vocal on Twitter.
Seriously, WWE.
It sort of backfires.
No, there's no sorta. There is this fixation WWE has with penalizing and ridiculing their talent when they try to voice their opinion and their displeasure on Twitter.
Yeah. When you break kayfabe, get the fuck out of here, man.
I mean, like I said before, it's like Emma could go somewhere else. I mean, if they really want, because they could definitely release her. She could go to GF. Oh, wait a minute. No, that probably wouldn't end very well. But yeah, there's that. So Emma is, of course, on the collision course, quite literally, to get humiliated in this match coming up later in the night. And sure enough, that does not disappoint. By the way, Cedric Alexander defeats Tony Nese with lumbar check, and Apollo Crews over Kalisto with the Cruise Missile. Yep, that's main event. Just like Ashley said, no tag champs, no Sheamus and Cesaro on the whole show.
You get fucked. Jesus Christ. I don't know. So then we got Enzo backstage and Big Show's coming in saying, "Look, you sure you want this match?" And Enzo goes, "Look, I got a plan. Plan is there's no plan." So yeah, next up it's Enzo versus Cass. So that thing about Jason Jordan's match coming up next. What the fuck?
And I got you beat because not only is it not next, it's not next after that either.
No, it's not till hour 3.
Yep.
Bear in mind, we get to this point. Enzo comes out, does his usual promo, saying that he's full of passion, and what gets him running, gets that passion going in him, is the fans. But Cass's tank is clearly running on empty, and he'll prove that Cass is soft. We are now an hour in. We had one match. Okay, it went about 15, 20 minutes or so, but still, one match in an hour. Ugh.
Even NXT does like 3 or 4 in the hour they have.
So Enzo and Cass is okay, because Enzo does get a little offense in, and then Cass basically just destroys him.
Yep.
Further proving, like, how long has Enzo got left?
They're also building the SummerSlam match with.
Thing.
They're also building the SummerSlam match with Enzo and Big Show's corner against Big Cass. I can see that be the direction they're going. We've been talking about that for a while now.
Yeah, because Big Show. The great thing is Big Show comes out to make the save, and Cass has got Enzo in his arms.
Yeah.
And he's holding him around the head. And Cass is like, I'm going to snap his neck. And I'm going, is that a wise thing to do? Hey, kids. Because they never have any notices on this stuff saying, don't try this at home anymore. And Cass is just there, literally going, I'm going to snap his neck. If that happens and kids start dying, this don't try this at home is going to happen. Or Cass is getting fined. Or both.
And apparently Cass and Enzo are both not really very much liked in the back right now, according to reports. So if that's the case...
I believe the Cass, it's sort of political stance.
It is political.
And not in-ring politics, like actual, fake news politics, that sort of stuff. It's like, wow. That's something you should always leave behind if you want to have any progress in wrestling.
And honestly, I really think Enzo's place at this point is better as a mouthpiece anyway, so this actually works quite well in the long run. Especially with Big Show.
Doesn't decide to... Go ahead.
Especially with Big Show seemingly on the cusp of the end of his career coming up. He wants to do this weird storyline with Cass to try to build Cass up, like try to make him before he goes on.
But it's looking like Show's going to win at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think he's going to, honestly.
So, yeah, Cass basically throws Enzo into Show and uses this to big boot Show in the head and beats down on him, hits him with not 1, not 2, but 5 Empire elbows. And then, eventually, somebody realized, oh, shit, an official had better go out there. And this referee just comes out, just running out of nowhere and going, stop it. And Cass goes, all right. And he heads off to the back, what just happened? Because I don't know. Went a bit weird. What didn't go a little bit weird, it went very weird.
Agreed.
Speaking of weird, Renee's got an interview with Alexa, and Alexa's like, I don't care who I face, because I just love the fact that Sasha and Bayley's friendship is going to explode tonight. The true winner of everything that happens tonight is going to be her. So here's Emma in the ring. And here comes the woman who ain't like most girls because she's a woman, for God's sake. This match is over pretty quickly, but oh my God, I think we found the best finisher ever for Nia Jax.
Yeah, I'm going to call this the steamroller because that's exactly what it was. It was really great. She basically just like destroys Emma 100%. Of course, this is one-sided to the fullest. And the match ends. Emma's on the canvas. Nia bounces off the ropes. It's a standing front flip senton and gets the win. Yes, this finish works because not only is it something that can be done relatively safe, but it's also something that looks believable and something that is going to be a really
Has
great
flair.
finish. Yeah, it works because it's something that sets her apart from everyone.
Yes. The Jack Smash, I think they're going to call it. They're just going to use something simple like that. Something that rhymes.
I was going to call it the Jackhammer, but that was already used at one point. So
then Akira Tozawa was interviewed by Charlie backstage as they recap the Davari stuff over last week. And Tozawa wants his rematch, and Titus comes in and says, "Look, your shoulder's in bad shape, and I don't want you to hurt yourself unnecessarily. So I've talked to the medics, as well as Kurt, and have cancelled the match." And Akira is pissed. And you're just like, I'm going to the ring. I'm going out there, and I'm doing this. Can't stop me. And goes out, and it's like, the sound guy's like, oh shit, where's the music? Press play. Starts playing, and he gets in the ring, and Titus is there like, come on, man. You don't need to do this. And he shoves him, and it's like, there's a bit of an uneasy tension as we go to commercial. Yay. Or something.
I'll give credit, though, this story, it does make sense. It's very much believable, given the fact that Titus is trying to protect his investment. And that's usually what you do in the case of being a sports agent. Because basically, right now, Titus O'Neil, for all intents and purposes, is basically like, he's kind of like an African-American Arliss Michaels. And that's basically the sports agent gimmick he's doing. So he's trying to protect his investment, and he's not wanting Akira Tozawa to get further hurt when he realizes how banged up he is, because he's too proud to admit that he's a little bit hurt right now. So, of course, he throws a Johnny tantrum, and he ends up slapping Titus across the face. It was just an interesting segment, really. I mean, they're not doing anything with the cruiserweight division right now anymore. So, I mean, this was just a Raw segment, but it was all right. I mean, there really wasn't much to write home about, but I understand why it was done.
Yeah. Makes sense. So then we come back, and Tozawa was like, I want Davari, I want him now. And then, oi, 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 Neville shows up. It's like, look, let's be honest, Tozawa. The reason you've got your hurt shoulder and your shattered confidence is me. In the state you're in, you can't stand toe-to-toe with the king of the cruiserweights. And I said that before you even tried to take me on. But you ignored my advice and you listened to that charlatan, Titus. And all I see now in the ring with me is a pathetic man, a joke, a shell of his former self. And he gets kicked in the head and pretty much taken out. Put in the corner. Tozawa connects with the senton, but in doing so seems to tweak his shoulder again. Here comes Davari beating the shit out of Tozawa. It's like, yeah. And then he just beats the shit out of Neville. And Davari poses with the title. Are we actually doing a multi-man match at SummerSlam? Again!
4 hours for 4+ person matches.
Yes. So then Sasha and Bailey backstage, saying how they both want Alexa at SummerSlam. So may the best woman win. And Sasha's like, yes, the best woman will win. Me. So it's time for a Sonic historic moment, which is Shane's return to Raw. They cut out the whole, you're facing The Undertaker. And if you lose, you leave forever. Except you became SmackDown GM. Then they recap the entire opening segment, practically. Or the abbreviated version, certainly. So then it's an interview with Renee. Yeah. Why was Renee on this show? Is Mike Rome on holiday? Because that's all I can think.
Far as I know, no.
Because I didn't see him.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't at the show tonight, I believe.
There was no pre-show video on the YouTubes either with like, oh, here's some breaking news. So who knows?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that, actually.
He's probably gone to the holiday camp like Neville did last week when he wasn't there. And all that.
I mean, he did do some stuff for the pay-per-view last night, but could have kept him backstage tonight. Not really had anything for him to do. It's just a possibility. He usually travels with the company anyway, so.
Or Greg was lazy and he was having to do the SmackDown house show tonight.
Well, it's Greg's birthday, so I understand.
That's where Mike was. He was filling in for Greg.
I don't stick together. I don't always stick together, everyone.
So the interview happened. Apparently, Jordan's facing Kurt Hawkins. And he says, look, I've got pressure to deliver. And the hero of my life is now my father. And I'm not nervous. I've got a butterflies, which of course Renee goes, that's funny because Kurt said that. Lo, 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 lo. It's not funny. And people, people have the dreams, and sometimes they don't, they don't come true. But his did, and he'll make sure he may get a win, probably. So then Dean and Seth are backstage, and Seth's looking forward to team up again, and wants to come up with a game plan with what they've got. And Dean's like, "Ain't got no plan." And Seth says, "Look, you need to focus. We've got 3 guys to worry about tonight." And Dean goes, 3 guys? I've got to worry about 4 guys. Personally, I worry about 5 guys because, is it 5 guys or 6 flags? Or both, or neither. I don't know. Something to do with one of them. So then we get Bailey coming out, but she's facing Sasha after the break. But the key thing is, they talk about Royal Rumble in Philly, which apparently people were getting tickets for because they didn't want to watch Mike and Sammy last night or the main event, mainly because they couldn't see it. The interesting thing, when they came back, they said, SummerSlam is brought to you by Cricket Wireless and the KFC Zinger Burger.
It's coming.
Please tell me this is the tie-in for Southpaw Regional Wrestling 2 Electric Boogaloo.
The not Ric Flair impersonator is going to be promoting KFC at the end of the Southpaw Regional Wrestling, which I have a feeling is probably going to be starting soon.
I'd be interested if it wasn't him. If it was somebody else. They obviously
stick with
can't
Flair, I think.
They can't do Hogan. If they could do Sting, that would be an interesting one.
No, I think with Southpaw it's going to stick that way. Plus, we're going to see AJ Styles in the new Southpaw season.
Wait, is that a fish? Oh shit!
Yeah, looking forward to this greatly.
Oh my god!
I wear my
Cool thing
Southpaw
about it
Regional
as
Wrestling
well,
shirt proudly.
nobody that's on that show has been axed yet from the
Nope.
company, so they can all come back. I need to watch that again. So here we go. Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Winner faces Alexa at SummerSlam.
I mean, these two always turn it up in the ring at all times. This was nothing different. And with a title shot on the line, they really left it all out in the ring.
Yeah, they had a pretty good showing, in all honesty. The interesting thing, though, is what happened with it, because I always thought that they were going to build to a multi-person match here because they could. So Sasha connects with a frog splash, and I'm going, okay, that's pretty sensible for a finish. 1, 2. Bayley kicks out with enough momentum to roll over Sasha into a pinfall of Bayley's own. 1, 2, 3. Bayley wins clean, and Bayley's getting her straight rematch at SummerSlam. I did not expect that. In all honesty.
I mean, it's very interesting. They're trying to do what a lot of people are pretty much daring them to do at this point, and that's rebuild Bayley back up. I mean, they did the match that we were all thinking was going to happen at SummerSlam on Raw tonight.
Mm-hmm. And then they have a stare down, and because reasons, I don't know. So Renee interviews Kurt Hawkins and says, "I'm going to ruin Jason's debut." Which apparently is next, which it is. They do another good video package for the Special Olympics, and I think it's a guy who's like won medals in basketball and weights and other stuff, and now he's deciding to go into speed skating. So he's like gold medalist in 4 different sports, and he's going for the 5th. I believe it's the Winter Special Olympics in Austria. Yeah, I didn't even know they had a winter wing, because I always associate the Special Olympics with sort of the summer stuff from all the footage that they showed. But the fact is, like, okay, they actually do winter ones as well. Mad respect. I like it. So Kurt's in the ring. Jason's in the middle of his entrance. I don't think he even gets a full entrance. Great debut. Well programmed there, Kurt. Oh, it's also worth noting that women's match. It was a good match, but the presentation, Jesus Christ, Kevin Dunn, can you stop doing camera angles every 2 fucking seconds? I was actually getting nauseous. I only remember that because this match seemed to go a little the same. Just as many different camera angles. I think that's his new trend. Getting as many camera angles, making people throw up and complain. I don't know. But an okay match, relatively quick one. Jordan's like finishing combination, if that's what it's going to be called, who knows?
It's the same as his hot tag.
There was a very beautiful belly to back suplex, I guess.
Yeah, and he hits a really sweet overhead release belly to belly. He does the diving shoulder in the corner after dropping the straps, and he uses.
Well, was it a spear? It seemed more like a spear than a shoulder.
I mean, it's a diving shoulder in the corner. It's a spear, but it's even called out. It's a diving shoulder in the corner, and then he hits the 1-man grand amplitude and gets the win.
The neck breaker.
Which is fine because I think it works. Don't know what they're going to do with him, but I mean, we'll see.
Perhaps the neck breaker will be called My Black Son.
Oh, God. Welcome, Pedro. It's okay. I missed Raw too because of work as well, and it kind of half and half. His work kind of made me sleepy. And
So they recap the Revival's attack on the Hardys 2 weeks ago and their win last week, and the Revival are in action next. And they announced for 205 tomorrow. Daivari one-on-one with Neville, and Swan has chosen his partner as Cedric Alexander to take on TJP and his partner Tony Nese. So TJP is officially heel, even though he isn't, but he is.
Make up your mind, WWE.
So Charlie's in the ring, introduces the Revival, who basically immediately kick Charlie out of the ring, and they interview themselves and say, look, we dominated NXT, and now we're here to dominate Raw. You know, we kicked New Day to SmackDown, we took out the Hardys, and, you know, we were probably one of the factors that made Enzo and Cass split up because they never won against us anywhere. You know, we're the big guys around here. Cue Anderson and Gallows and goes, look, nobody here wants to hear you, do you? You see, Washington, D.C. is a good brother town. You know, and let's think about it. We beat up New Day first. We beat the crap out of the Hardys first. And we dealt with them Italian fools first. What we see in the ring now is nothing but a pair of, what's the word? Nerds!
This is the reason why you can't have Gallows and Anderson and the Revival in the same show. This is what I was worried was going to happen. They're basically doing the same gimmick, and now you're pretty much being forced to turn the Good Brothers into baby faces.
Oh,
I don't have an issue with that because they're Bullet Club, and having the Bullet Club face the Revival, this is the closest they're going to get. So I understand why they're doing this. This leads to a tag match.
Yes. Revival versus the Good Brothers, which, you know, it's not too bad.
Short TV tag match.
Pretty much.
Nothing much out of it. I mean, Revival get the win with the Shatter Machine on Carl Anderson. Yeah, this is fine. So, weirdly enough, they're building right now they're building a 3-way tag feud between these 3 teams because none of them like each other. So I really think that might be the direction we go for SummerSlam, or it could just end up being the Revival against the Hardys. I mean, either way, because don't forget, you obviously have Sheamus and Cesaro are still the tag champs. So, I mean, you could set up a technical 3-way so they can determine who the number 1 contender is going to be in the next couple of weeks, and then send the other teams to work each other in a tag match on the undercard. Or you can put them all together in SummerSlam 4-way dance 2017. and just do it that way. I mean, I don't want any more multi-man matches, but it seems like 4 hours equals 4-man plus matches. So that could be the direction we're headed towards, because this leads to the very end to build up more what I was saying with the Hardys attacking the Revival and Poetry in Motion on Dash Wilder, Matt with a twist of fate. Jeff goes up top for the Swanton. Scott Dawson pulls Dash to the outside. So, yeah, we're definitely building this feud continuously between these three teams. Maybe to a lesser extent the Good Brothers, but I mean, definitely the Hardys and the Revival. Because, like I said before, if you can't do the Bucks, what's the best possible thing you can do? You work with the Bullet Club still. So this is WWE's way to do Bullet Club versus Revival without having to do it.
Yeah, yes, that makes sense.
And we get to our main event.
Well, we get Miz and Miz Taraj backstage looking happy because they're on the same page. And it's like, you know, I'm a star in the Marine 5, you know, and did all the money. And then look at, I don't know, Tom Cruise in The Mummy. You know, we as the Miz and the Miz Taraj are original. We're doing stuff that people haven't seen before, and people are loving it. And Cruise is just part of all of the reboots that fail in Hollywood. Just like Seth trying to reboot his career and Dean trying to reboot something. It's like, okay, I think when you wrote it in the script, that made sense, but execution-wise, not really. And then they confirm for next week, Miz TV will be having Jason Jordan as its special guest. And there's going to be a triple threat with Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Burn. And then Wale is there. It's Wale. The Wale. Oh, dear Wale. Probably. Honestly don't know what to do next. So yeah, Dean's out first, then Seth, and then Miz and the Miz Taraj. And the match they have, pretty decent, I'd say.
Yeah, I
overall,
mean, not bad really. It's just it's a house show main event, but given a little bit more time.
The finish was actually pretty nice. So Miz hit skull crushing finale on Dean, and Seth just about gets in to make the save. And then I think Curtis is like dead. Bo gets thrown. Either Bo or Curtis gets thrown into the turnbuckle and they fall out to the floor. The Miz gets thrown over the top rope, and then Dean and Seth both do dives to the three outside. Well, sorry, to the two, because Miz then gets back in. So Dean comes in the ring, wants to go for dirty deeds, but Miz catches him, attempts skull crushing finale, only for Seth to drop kick Miz, stopping it, which allows Dean to turn around, dirty deeds, 1, 2, 3. They overcome the odds. And then Seth sort of goes for the sort of shield fist bump situation. Dean just powders and leaves. He ain't interested. And Seth's just looking at him like, come on, man. What have I got to do? And Raw goes off the air. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, that's there's really not much more you can say about a Raw like that. That was your show. And we move on to see what the heck's going to happen on SmackDown tomorrow.
I do like the fact that Rusev apparently just tweeted "Big fight, big dog, big, small guy complex." That makes sense. Probably.
Yeah, that's your show. A Raw that was mostly skippable.
Overall, yeah.
I mean, there's some decent stuff on the show, but I mean, a lot of storyline progression. I'll give them that. They did build a lot of storylines because we have a massive build up until SummerSlam, so we have a long time to build, and they're going to take that complete time. If you haven't checked it out yet, we have a Battleground Popcast from last night. If you want to watch that? We're back here again Wednesday night, 9 p.m. for the Wednesday Wrestling Popcast. We're talking G1. Yes. The dates of New Japan's G1 Climax tournament rolls on. We're also going to be talking SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT, Ring of Honor, What Culture Pro Wrestling, Lucha Underground, as well as GFW Impact, and all the news from going on in MMA, from UFC to Bellator, everything under the sun. And of course, at the end of that, we're going to be going into indie results, and we're going to be getting on the news and rumors from around the wrestling world. So that's going to be coming your way on Wednesday. Back here on Thursday for more Sip and Snack. I'm going to be moving over to Cabana Bay for the weekend to stay with Darren. He's going to be in town, so I'll be hanging out with him at the parks and everything. The Dave and Buster's actually Thursday night, so looking forward to that. Playing that Star Trek game. That game was super addictive. Back here next week, AJ's movie reviews coming your way. We may have more than one review. Actually, I can assure you we're going to have more than one review because Atomic Blonde is going to be your review for this week. So look forward to that, plus some other movies as well. No, the Emoji Movie is not on that list. We know AJ with animated films. And Versus is going to be coming your way as well. So that's going to be the weekend, and that's going to roll right into, oh my God, August. It's crazy, isn't it? We're at August now, which means we are inching closer and closer to Halloween Horror Nights 27 opening night. And for me, the 13th of September, when I'm going to get to experience the event. So, yay. Cannot wait. Ashley, we're going to find you on social media.
You find me on Twitter at Ash is my name UK.
All right. Gaming with Ash went up. It doesn't have it has a title. It does not have a description. It does not have keywords. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's entertaining. So watch that. Ashley, of course, we didn't have 2 videos this week, given the fact that we did do the podcast, but that'll be back next week. So more Ashley content coming next weekend. Like I said before, as I choke here because I didn't get anything to drink before I started the show. That's going to be your show tonight. Once again, Bullet Club merchandise gets back in a Hot Topic online store on Wednesday. If you can't wait until then, ProWrestlingTees.com and RingOfHonorWrestling.com. So head there and you'll be able to, the ROH site, you're going to be able to pick up everything with the exception of the Kenny Omega shirt because obviously he's kind of on the, not say the outs with Ring of Honor, but he's not a part of Ring of Honor's congruent storylines right now for the foreseeable future. That will be changing soon, but right now he's not. So you can get the Bucks, you can get Cody, you can get Marty, and you also can get the regular Bullet Club shirt. All available right now. Hangman Page shirt is also available as well on ROHWrestling.com. Otherwise, wait till Wednesday. They'll be back in the online store. Guerrillas of Destiny and Hangman Page are going to be joining this time around. This time in August is going to be LIJ, and the New Japan logo shirt is going to be coming, as well as more beanies and more of the pins. So if you're a Bullet Club fan, if you're a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, like a lot of you out there are, we can tell with the numbers on Wednesday. I will state right now that it's going to be all over your local Hot Topic, and if not, you get it online. So that's going to be your show. And as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more this evening, tonight, you have chosen the Popcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
This is the bit where I play Akira Tozawa and his Superstar Shake-Up thing. But it's not working, so fuck it, we'll do it Wednesday.
Well, then I'll get the last word. If you haven't checked it out yet, go watch the Disaster Artist trailer. That movie's going to be a thing of wonderment.